Right, this is part two. Probably gonna make a 1 hour video, guys. I'm tired. I don't feel like going for full video. I'll watch my video and then I'll probably maybe watch some Rad Rad. The game Rad Rad played, the first part was interesting. And after that, it got a bit boring. I tapped out halfway through part two. Because right now he's not really playing that many good games. All the good games are coming out in like next month. Like you have some Spider-Man 2, PS5, you have Alone in the Dark, and you have Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm excited for that. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. I'll see. Yeah, I'll see. I'm going to contact the driving company in Elmer. I'm gonna ask them how long does it take to do the bike course, the motorcycle bike course. If it takes like only like a month, I'm gonna do the course. If it takes 11 months, I will not do the course. I'll just continue finish my driving license. I might as well finish my driving license. I'm probably not gonna finish my driving license until I pay the fee because I'm lazy. I don't need a car right now. Honestly, I don't need a car. I'm like, yeah, I don't really need a car right now. I'm not gonna get my license now. But when I pay the fee, I will get my license. I only have like 2 months left to go. I have like one more phase left to go, get my license. That way, when I'm king, I can drive. Because I want to drive my own nice cars when I'm king with VG, obviously. So, Sarah. Yeah. But if it takes like a month to get the bike license, I'm taking that course and I'm gonna get the license. So chances are next year I'll probably get like an electric scooter. The money I have saved up, I'll buy a high end electric scooter for myself or an electric bike. I might get the electric bike. I'm gonna make sure I get a good lock for it. I don't. Last time my bike got jacked, man. I got like a nice $600 bike like 5 years ago. It got when I did my driving course. I left my bike on. I put the lock on the pole, but the pole was not a big pole. The guys must have lifted the bike up, and that's how they jacked my bike. And that was a nice like $600 bike I bought. I was pissed. I went back there, the bike was gone. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, my bike got jacked. Yeah. Especially if you drive an electric bike, an electric scooter, if you don't put a lock on that, people will jack that, guaranteed. Hence why, yeah, obviously, some Sarah. Because it's annoying walking to work. So next, if it takes 1 month to get my bike license, I'm probably gonna end up doing the bike course. If not, I'll just continue my drive. I'll just get a electric scooter or an electric bike. I'll find the one of the best stores in Ottawa that sells electric scooters or electric bikes. If you want to get a high of the best scooters out there, you got to get like the $1,500, $2,000 ones. If you want to get a really good scooter or a really good electric bike, yeah, some saying. That's my point. So I'm saying, yeah, yeah. So Ivan, when your comedy be like Incredibles, yeah, think something like what you saw for Incredibles. Except like it's like Incredibles, but like I'm not gonna have my company will not be in an island. No, I'm gonna buy land near the water and I'm gonna build the buildings on the property of land. How big of a land you'll buy? Like what you saw in that Gran Turismo picture, that's like 30 acres around there, 35 acres. I'll buy around land about that size. 30 acres of land's good enough. 100 acres, you're wasting money. No, get like 30 acres of land. It's big enough. And I'm gonna have my studio office. That's the main office where the me VG17 work, and we have the other visual effects, the special effects unit. I'm gonna call it the special effects, visual effects, visual effects unit building. Yeah, I want you to call this building the Visual Effects Unit Building. Obviously, and then that's where the visual effects team works. Obviously, so you build a visual effects unit building on your lot next to your office, and me and VG have our main office where the 17 works. And there's another, and I'm gonna build a massive, like, huge game studio building. That's a big building because you're looking at like 250 people working there. 250 people for your game is good enough. You don't need to hire 1,000 people. No, have a good 250 to 300 people in your building. So you have to put a good 80, 85 million towards that building, and you pimp it out. You build a beautiful game studio. That's where all the producers have their own office. Rabbit gets his own office. You also have to build a voice recording room where they record for the game. You need to build a studio where the actors, where the mocap technology. That way you get the character face model for in the game. Obviously, you want tactics in the game to look like me. You want it to look like VJ. We have to wear the motion capture technology. We also have to do voice acting work, right? The stars have to do the voice acting work. Right? You have to build those rooms. Obviously, you have to build a room where all the departments work for the game. The writers work. So I'm gonna have an office for the writers, the producers, the art director, and you have a place where all the VFX guys all work. Obviously for the game. Like, I'm gonna be top notch, yeah. I have more look like, yeah, think something like what you see in the Grand Pixel picture, something like that. I'm gonna tell the guys, look, I want it exactly like this. Exactly, Ivan. Yeah, like pretty. I want it like very, very similar to what I'm seeing here. Okay, I see what you're saying, and they build that beautiful property. So you want you want the grass to have that golf coursey look, yes. And you want the buildings to light up at night, like this picture here, yes. You know what I'm saying? You want your office to be something like this design, yes. You want a docking area like this, yes. That's where I park my yacht. But I'm also gonna have a docking area where I park my jet. So whenever the actors fly to Vancouver, the jet will land on my property. I'm gonna build an area where the jet lands. How much you put towards your property, Ivan? 170 to 200 million. I'll pimp it up more. I'll put $200 million towards it. That's that way I can pimp up my buildings. I can put 30 million towards my main office. That's high tech. Another $30 million towards the visual effects building. That's 60 million, and $80 million towards the game studio building. Obviously, that's 140 million. I can even put 100. I can put 100 million towards the game studio building. I can put like 35 million each towards. I can put like 40 million towards the main office. Pimp it out. 5 million, guys, is a nice fucking office building. $40 million is unheard of. That's like, I'm pimping it out, man. I'm gonna pimp it out completely. Yeah. Automatic doors in my office. Yeah. And then the landscaping work, the landscaping work, like making the golf coursey grass look, the gardening work, that stuff is not as expensive. That will cost me maybe like $2 million in total cost. It's not that expensive. The dock, building the dock for the yacht is not that expensive. That'll cost me maybe, if I want to build a beautiful one, cost me maybe a couple $100,000, maybe 150, 200K to build that. And the docking area for the jet won't cost me much either. That'll cost me maybe $150,000 to build. It's not that expensive. Samsara. But pimp it out. Obviously. Yeah. And that money is also used to pay the engineers and to pay. You also got to pay the company. I'll pay the company a good like 3.5 to 4 million bucks. That way, all those construction guys get paid. They have families to feed to build my VJ's beautiful Grand Hills look like a studio lot for a Skyscraper Entertainment company. It's gonna be beautiful, yeah. So it'll be like Incredibles, yeah. What, like that jet that you saw, that Mr. Incredible was in. Obviously, think of a jet like that. I'm gonna buy a $300 million jet. I'm gonna put money into renovations. Let's pimp it out. Yeah, we can put a good 10 million towards renovations for the jet to pimp it out even more. So the jet's already high tech. It's a 300 million jet, but I'm gonna put like 10 million to pimp it out like more. Yeah, Ivan, what are you thinking of? I showed him the Incredible clip. I wanted something like this. That's high tech, Ivan. Yeah, Ivan. So you're gonna have to renovate. Yeah, I want you renovating the jet. How much is 10 million? Yeah, Ivan. 10 million is high tech for renovations, Ivan. And they pimp it out completely. You want a GPS? Yeah. I want a GPS Welcome to Sky Source. You know what I'm saying? Grab a beer. Whenever the jet's about to land on the property, the GPS says, buckle your seatbelts, you're almost at your destination. That's Sky Source Entertainment. Yeah, you tell them now they renovate your jet, man. Both jets I'll renovate. This $300 million jet, I'll put $10 million to renovate that, to pimp it out with the GPS and everything. And I have this cup holder that, like, remember how the cup holder went down and it went back up in Incredibles? Yeah, I'm gonna put money into a cup holder like that, yeah, with the GPS. And this $70 million jet me regional will buy, or $80 million jet, I'll put maybe 3.5 million to renovate that. I pimp it out too with the GPS. Yeah, man. And me and VJ's condo will be like that house, like that place that you saw in Incredibles, like that automatic door. Yeah, think of me and VJ's garage door like that. Our main door when we enter the condo is looking at like an automatic door. I want to have an automatic door whenever we arrive to the third floor. We're now in our condo, obviously. No, me and VJ don't have to have a door. Our door is the garage, and the garage door opens like automatic door. You got that, it's high tech, and you have an escalator. And you have 3 floors. The bottom floor is the garage. Second floor is the pool room, and third floor is where me and VJ's condo is. Our terrace, our big living room, our kitchen, our 2 bathrooms, our private IMAX theater room, our dog room, our bedroom, and our 2 bathrooms. That's later, and our jacuzzi room. I'm also gonna build a jacuzzi room in my condo. I'll have jacuzzis in the pool room. I'm also gonna have a jacuzzi in the condo. But the jacuzzi in the condo is for me and VJ only. I'm only gonna build, like, it's gonna be a small room. There's just one jacuzzi there, and that's for me and VJ. Whereas for the parties with the actors, they'll be chilling in jacuzzi in the pool room. I'll have maybe 3 jacuzzis, big jacuzzis in that pool room. That way they can chill in the jacuzzi when during my parties. Sarah. And that's why Scotch will boil all out of the water. Yeah, and all the hot acting won't be so bad. The execs will be shocked. Holy shit, IMG own a high tech company. I want to work for them so bad. All the execs and actors are going to be envious. Yeah. Because, yeah, even though Hollywood's top notch, it's not Ivan Sky Source Entertainment Company. No. Hollywood's not Sky Source. Sky Source is better than Hollywood, yeah. George's like, Ivan, you want to call your company Sky Source Entertainment? Yeah, holy shit, that's a sick name. It sounds big, Ivan. Yeah, I got signed by Sky Studios. I got signed by Disney. I got signed by Warner Bros. I got signed by Sky. Sky sounds bigger than all those companies, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's why everyone wants to work in the office. But see where I don't hate you guys. I don't have time to look at like 10,000 resumes, guys. I know you guys want to work, but I don't have time to look at 10,000 resumes. And C-list people are not worth 150K for my company. They're worth their $60,000. I know you guys wish you can get paid 100 grand, but you're not worth that. You're worth your 60, 70K at most. Which most people will gladly work for you if you do 70K. 70K is a good paycheck because they want to be saved. They want to experience my company. I know you want that $150,000 paycheck, but you're not worth it, man. You're worth your 50. Don't hate me. You're 50, 60K. You get paid for what you're worth, man. Sincere. Ivan, do you want your condo built on the island like Incredibles? No. No, it's too. Me and VJ owning a condo island would be too boring. No, I want my condo in the city, obviously. I'm gonna try my best to find a roof to build on top of the condo. If I can't, which I probably should, but if I can't, me and VJ now have to buy land and we'll just build our condo on land. So we'll buy land somewhere in Vancouver, or perhaps outside Vancouver. But I want to live in Vancouver. But if our condo is outside Vancouver, and it's only like a 50-minute drive from Vancouver, that's fine. Honestly, the chances are the me and VJ studio will not be in Vancouver because Vancouver doesn't have much land available for sale. So chances are it might be in another city nearby, maybe 25 minutes away from Vancouver. That's fine. Me and VJ can drive, you know what I'm saying? And chances are me and VJ might perhaps be living perhaps near Vancouver, maybe, perhaps. But chances are we won't be able to find land to build our condo in Vancouver if we can't find a roof on top of the condo. So, Sarah. High tech. These items are coming with that top notch. Yes, we are coming with that top notch. Look at the beautiful company made here in Holland, Cameron. There. Really beautiful. Those are beautiful, yeah. Those are beautiful. Yeah. So Zayas I'll make for $1.2 billion with my house. Pay for it, fund it with my own cash. I'm not going any higher than that because that's more than enough money. That's already more than high tech enough. So I'll make Zanes for $1.2 billion. 780 towards the movie, 10 million towards the doc, and 410 towards salaries to pay my cast, crew, and my actors, and my 17. Peter Jackson or Mel's salary, I'll pay. What? I'll pay out of my pocket. 85 million for Peter, 56 million for Mel. That's good. That's a good deal for them. And Peter, I'll give him $425 million of the box office royalties of the movie. All right, what about double that? I'm like, Peter, no, I'm not giving you double. 425 is enough. Stop being greedy. And I'll give him $90 million of the royalties for the merch. Peter Jackson. So Peter signed a 600 million Canadian deal, which is 745 million around their New Zealand deal. Massive contract. Yeah, because he's greedy, he wants $1 billion. I'm like, Peter, I'm not gonna pay $1 billion. You're being greedy. Stop. You're gonna walk away with $400 in your bank. I saw an offer you know I have, and I want like $600 in my bank. I'm like, Peter, no, I'm not gonna pay that. You're fucking greedy. And Mel Gibson, I'll give him $200 million of the royalties. I'll give him $35 million of the merch royalties. That's a good deal for Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson signed a $290 million Canadian deal. So it's almost half of Peter's deal. But because he lives in America, he'll be making like $210 million around there in American money. So Mel Gibson's walking away with like $10 million after taxes and his agent. After the 5 years of work, that's a good deal for Mel Gibson. He's $100 million richer. He's already loaded, and now he made $100 million. He can retire, which he might retire perhaps. Because I heard Mel is thinking of retiring from directing and all that stuff. He's probably waiting for that Zanes. Once he does Zanes, he might retire. Because he'll be in his 70s when he directs Zanes as Mel. He'll be older. He'll be like in his early 70s. Mel Gibson when he directs Zanus. If I choose him right, yeah. Peter will be in his late 60s when he directs Zanus. Mel will be in his 70s. Some Sarah. Because chances are I will be starting Skyscrapers around 2030 around there. 2029, 2030 around there. And Zanes gets released like 2030. 2029 I might start Skyscrapers. 2028 maybe. 2029. Zanes gets released in like 2033. 2034. Before I said 2030, no, it'd be probably 2030, 33, 2034 around those Zanes will get released. Around there. Some Sarah? Yeah. Some Sarah? The question is, who's better for the job, Mel or Peter? I don't know, man. They're both really, really good, man. That's the thing, some Sarah. They're both really, really good. Peter is the fantasy guy. Look, man, if Peter could do what he did for Lord of the Rings, then Peter is most likely the better choice. But if he can't do better what he did for Lord of the Rings 30 years when he lost it with such, I think Mel's the better guy. Obviously. Because Passion Christ is a powerful story and it's a moving, touching story. But the problem is Mel is not a fantasy guy. The world might not be as good but I'll be helping him out with the world building, right? So it'll still be a good world building, obviously. But Peter will bring my world to life because he's a fantasy guy. He brought that world of Middle Earth to life in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. It'll bring my world of the last of Us movie to life. The North and the South will bring the world to life. So it's like two worlds. Yeah, the South is like a different realm than the North. Tell Peter and Melville what they know. Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, I'm thinking of the South as a different realm, a different world. Yeah, the South is pretty much like a different world, pretty much a different realm than the North. The North is holy terrain. The South is cursed terrain, and all the demonic beings, the animal beings, live in that realm, and the Southerns live in that realm too, alongside those animal cursed devil beings. That's what the masters I wrote. And the Xanians, who are the Northerns, they live in the North, the holy terrain, the city of the royals, the beautiful city, obviously. The Southerns call the North the heavenly kingdom. You'll see, I mean, when you read Volume 2, the Southerns call the stories were told about the North, that the North is like heavenly, is like the heavenly kingdom. Xanius is like the heavenly kingdom, whereas the South is not like the North. Saphis is a beautiful city, but it's not Xanus. Samsara. Saphis is a beautiful city in the South, but it's not Xanus. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, man. So Ivan, yeah, so you're saying, yeah, obviously. That's why because, yeah, you wrote a masterpiece. Yeah, the Northerns, the Southerns, yeah. They're not called Southerners, no, they're called Southerns. And the Northerns are called Northerns. They're either called Northerns or Xanians, and the Southerns are either called Syrians or Safians. The Syrians and the Safians are Southerns. They live in the south. The Northerns call them Southerns, or they call them Syrians or Safians. And the people from the north are called the Xanians, or they're called the Northerns. Obviously, the Northerns are more privileged than the Southerns. Because as Xanians is a rich city, obviously. That's where the royal family comes from. Right, Tactius' family, they all live in Xanus, obviously. They're the rich family, rich royal family. Yeah, that's why I wrote a masterpiece. What about the wolves? No, the wolves are not called Southerns. The animals in the south are not called Southerns. No, only the humans. The wolves are called the wolves of Rak. The Southerns call them the wolves of Rak. He's like, I'm the wolves of Rak. Oh yeah, that's a cool name. Ivan, you wrote a masterpiece, kind of like my Lord of the Rings. Oh my god, Peter. He's like, holy shit, Ivan. You know what I'm saying? The wolves of Rak. Oh my god, Peter. Ivan, like you're so creative. That sounds pretty cool. The wolves of Rak, Ivan. Oh yeah, the wolves of Rak. Aratat and them are called the wolves of Rak. They call them the master wolves. The Southerns and Northerns call the wolves the master wolves. They call them the wolves. They call them the wolves of Rak. And they're also called the devil wolves too. They have like four different titles. Aratat's called the Master Wolf King of the South. He's called the King of the South. He's called the Wolf King of the South. He's called the King of Barak. Ephesus is called the Bat King. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The bats are not the bats. What about the bats? The bats are just called bats. Because the bats are kind of extinct. There's not that many bats left, but there's tens of thousands of wolves living in the south. The wolves are more of a bigger threat, pretty much. They're called the wolves of Barak, and they live in Barak, obviously. They all live in Barak. And the bats are just called bats, obviously. Ephesus is called the Bat King. The Bat King, obviously. He's also the king of Gilead, the king of the Gilead Mountains. Ephesus rules the mountain regions in the south, and the city. Aratat rules the rest of the south, excluding the mountains, obviously. He doesn't rule the mountain regions. And so when you read Volume 3, Aratat says those mountains never go there. He's like the bats live there. He's like that area the mountain regions is not my territory. So even Aratat knows. He knows that the moment you journey through the mountains, that's no longer his territory. He's now in Ephesus territory. That's why I wrote a masterpiece. So you have three kings. Obviously. You have Tactius, who's prince to be king, obviously. And you have Aratat and Faful. They rule the south, and Barak. and you have Ephesus who rules the mountain regions, the mountains of Gilead, obviously. And that's why Tess Peter and them, that whoever comes with their answer, that's the director I'll be hiring, obviously. Some Sarah. Yeah. I wrote a masterpiece, guys. It's an amazing story. And that's where all the authors will be shocked, man. I wrote a masterpiece. Here's the guy, Ivan. You wrote a masterpiece, man. I'm picturing all the scenes, like the Exodus of Sapphi's Ivan. Like you're looking at an amazing movie, Ivan. Watch Prince of Egypt. You know how you had the Exodus of the Hebrews out of Egypt, and Moses is leading them with his brother, right? Yeah, you have something like that with Takis and his cousins and southern friends. They exit Sapphi's. Why, Ivan? Because I won't spoil this for you. All I'm gonna say is you have something called the land markings, and they go journey through the mountains. Remember that picture I posted on my Twitter? Yeah, think of a beautiful mountain like that, and you have the big mosquitoes biting them because the mountain's cursed. And they all have Peter's like, Ivan, they all have torches. They're like Prince of Egypt. I'm like, yeah. He's like, holy shit, you look at an amazing story. 5,000 Saphians. I'm like, yeah, Ivan, we couldn't afford Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, you only had like a 100 for the extras, Ivan. Yeah, I can afford to easily have 5,000 extras for the what? For the Saphians. Yeah, look at an amazing movie. Zara, you're looking at an amazing movie, yeah, man. You're looking at an amazing movie. But somebody tells me I'm going to end up choosing Peter. I don't know, but I might choose Mel. We'll see what happens. I choose Peter Jackson. He's a fan, so I don't hate Mel, I'm saying. And Peter has to help me what? He has to help me sign what? The 4 groups of crewmen the first year. What a workshop. Mass designers, costume designers, and the extras. Second year, he has to help me sign the stars. He has to help me correct that script, help me with the concept arts, take his notes, and help me with the main business calls. We're going to rent the Bergenstock Hotel in Switzerland for the 2-day party for the cast and crew, as well as the red carpet event. Peter has to help me sign that big deal with the owners of the hotel. He has to help me sign the deal with the companies in the States for the cameras. Because yeah, I have no worry about it. I know all the best cameras. Peter, you want to get the IMAX camera, Ivan? Yeah, okay. We want to get 12 of your film IMAX cameras. We want to get your best equipment that you have. So the best camera stands, the best lighting equipment, the best lighting equipment, the best sound equipment, the best drones. I'll rent maybe 4 drones for the movie. The best drones in the hall we can rent for the high shots. Yeah, because we can get the best stuff with this kind of budget. He's like, yeah, he's all happy. I gave him on the budget. Yeah, the visual effects technology. Chances are, if you want to get the best high tech stuff, it will cost me maybe $30 to $40 million to rent all the best stuff for all departments. I have a $600 million budget towards visual effects. So $40 million of that goes towards visual effects. $60 million is going towards the visual effects, going towards the movie. That's $186 million per volume. I can take out a good like $45 million of my money. That way, I put $200 million towards each one. People's like, Ivan, 186 is more than enough, Ivan. This is unheard of. This is revolutionary technology. Lord of the Rings only put $30 million towards visual effects, Ivan. In Hollywood, they put like $50 million towards visual effects, Ivan. This is unheard of. I'm like, Peter, I want it to be better. Okay, fine, Ivan. Put our money into it. It'll be even better. Yeah, obviously, because Peter wants his movies to be the best it can be. Obviously. Even under the budget, yeah. Costumes, armor, weapons, machines for the mask. I'll have a good $38 million budget toward. You need a big budget for that. I'll have a massive like $38 million budget towards that. Obviously. And for the extras, I'm going to have like a $33, $34, $35 million budget towards the extras. Because they're going to cost me a lot of money. Especially for the war. The end of war, the extras are going to cost me like $12 million, man. Because you have a huge gathering. You have the extras in the Wolf Extra Army and the Human Extra, the Zane Extra Army. Imagine paying those guys at $180 a day. You're looking at millions in cost for like. The war might take maybe a week and a half to film all that, right? Probably $12-13 million in cost is going to cost me for that war alone. That's why you need a big budget. $33 million budget for extras. And if there's leftover money in that, you pour all of that towards visual effects, obviously, but you need to at least save a good maybe $10 million because you have to what? You have to if you wanted your actors and all them to get free merch, you have to cover the cost for that. And for the red carpet, you have to rent planes and fly all the actors in to Switzerland and fly them back. That will cost me maybe like million five or something like that in cost. You got to make sure you save a bit of money, obviously. Some Sarah. That's my point. You guys help me with all that, obviously. And the food and the kitchen equipment, that's what people will help me with, obviously. Because Ivan, we should come up with a name. Yeah, Peter, I think we should come up with a name for each of the 3 volumes. Like Lord of the Rings. Because I'm selling it in a box on 4K Blu-ray on Amazon. Amazon's my partner, hence why we should come up with a name. It looks very unprofessional if it just says Volume 3. Yeah, Ivan, well, what's a good name? I don't know. What's a good name, Peter, for each of the volumes? When you got the team together and they come up with a good name for your 3 movies. Sarah. And Peter, when we film 4th year, I don't want you doing what you did for Lord of the Rings, worry about you're filming Volume 3 and Volume 1. No. We film everything to do with Volume 1 first, and then we move on to Volume 2, and move on to Volume 3. Because I want these actors to prepare themselves mentally for Volume 3. Most of them, anyways. Volume 2, you do meet the Demon Wolves, obviously. But that's only Tacitonius and Cassius, pretty much, right? They have to prep, obviously. So John Boyega and Jim Osu have to prep mentally for Volume 2 when they fight the wolves. But like Volume 3 is when you get the big battle in the caverns and you get the big war in the end. That's when you're meeting all the demonic heroes. Me and all the actors have to prep mentally. You have to prep mentally for the agony scene. We need to prep for that. Don't film Volume 3 and Volume 1. You're going to lose. The actors will lose momentum. Don't do that. I'm going to be very short period. Do not do that. We film Volume 1 first, then Volume 2, then Volume 3. Don't do what you did for Lord of the Rings, whereby you're filming Return of the King and Fellowship of the Ring simultaneously. Don't do that. No. The actors can lose momentum. I want these actors to prepare mentally, you know what I'm saying, to fight those horrific, demonic, the most horrific beings in movie history. So I'm saying, yeah. I know I'm doing. Yeah. And guaranteed Peter Jackson came up and told me, yeah, Ivan, I'm picturing your movie, man. If you put $1 billion towards this movie and you act as Tactius, this will beat up Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's better than Lord of the Rings, Peter. By a bit. The masterpiece. Yeah, man. Fucking masterpiece. And that's why his name's best with the most bitchery. Yeah, man. I can talk for maybe like 6 minutes in the next part. I'm done. I'll show my camera, guys.